Now parents are going to come and talk about how they use your panj chor against you. Okay? So panj chor Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, your lust, your anger, your pride, your greed and your attachment. How will they use those 5 against you to try to convert you?
So the panch chor, if we understand what they are, we will see how Guru Sahib has got the solution to this. So the solution lies with our Guru. Guru is telling us how to get out of this problem. And it starts by us facing our Guru and look at what he's teaching us. And the spiritual teachings teach us how to live within the world as well. So Guru's spiritual teachings aren't separate from living in the world. They teach us how to live within the world. This is what we need to teach. This is what we need to look at now. So the first being Kam. Maharaj is telling us every day before we go to sleep, Kam, Krodh, Nagar, Bhuparya. Every single one of us sitting in here is full of lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego. It exists in each one of us. Why? Because Guru has told us these energies are within us. Whether we face them, whether we see them, whether we want to admit that they're there or not, they are there. Whether we can control them or whether they can control us is a different matter. So if we look at Kam first, how do they use our inner battle against us? How do they use our own weakness against us? Because that's what they say whenever you go to any sort of self-defense class, they say look for your opponent's weakness, go for their weak point. So if we say, for one person it may be Kam, it may be lust. I'll keep moving high. So what they do, what will be done is they'll send a very attractive looking person, a very good looking young lad, and get that person to start talking to the girls. So that girl is or if it's the other way around, vice versa, they'll get an attractive looking woman and get her to speak to the guy. And automatically that person from their eyes will start being attracted to that person. So that in that way, a relationship may be formed because of that attraction, and they're using that against you. Yeah, self-explanatory, very easy to understand. Kam, Krodh, anger. If you've got some sort of family issues happening at home, maybe the girl is being treated unfairly at home, maybe the guy is getting a lot of hassle, maybe he's getting forced to get married and he doesn't want to. So then they've got someone to confide in. So if you've got some sort of issues, they use your Krodh, they'll get you to be angry at your parents. Say this to your parents, answer back, do this. Start causing rifts within the home. That's using your Krodh against you. Kam, Krodh. Even if it could even be somebody who's even in a marriage, not in a happy marriage, abusive marriage, male and female. This is the way out, come and confide in me. So using that Krodh against that person. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, your greed. Somebody wants a new iPhone here, Leno. You want some money here, Leno. So using again our want, our desires of materialism, using that against us here. They're giving you everything under the sun, and slowly, like a fish wire, reeling a person in. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, more attachment.
They will try and break your attachment with your family. So you might have like more to say ki appa, or I love my mom, I love my parents. They'll start saying things if your parents don't really love you. They'll start to say, the way they treat you, that's not real love, the way they do this. So try and break your attachment with your family, but create an attachment with them.
Again, going back to showing children and ourselves, even setting an example to our own mind. With things like divorce, things like all these things that happen in houses, like violence, all these sorts of things. These things push our children away. That's sort of what we're talking about. They don't even have to break our children away from us if we break them away from us ourselves. If we've broken our own kids away from us, or our partner, or our parents, whoever it is that we've broken away from us, nobody has to do that job, but we've been breaking that job, we've done that ourselves. So we've already made it easier. So how we live within our home is very important. That our children do feel secure, that we feel secure within our families. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Ahankar, ego. Again, using your own ego against you. So if you think that you know nothing about Sikhi, and you want to take that step back, but you're too scared to do that, then start saying, look, you make an informed decision. You have a right to be making your own decisions in life. And you think, hey, I'm doing something good. I've chosen a different faith. I'm doing this for myself. I've got my freedom. I can do this. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever had a chance to make my own mind up about what I want to be, who I am. This is quite an informed decision. I'm quite intelligent. Using your own intelligence against you. Again, that's another jaw that's being used against us. All we have to simply do is make our children aware of these, become aware of these ourselves, teach our child, God, and we aren't to have a relationship outside of marriage with any person of any faith. It doesn't matter until we are married. There is no such thing in Sikhi of having a relationship outside. Automatically that person will be pushed away. It doesn't matter what faith they are from, what background they are from. Automatically they know, the Guru is teaching us that outside of marriage, we are not to have any sort of relationship. End of story. Whether you're a guy or a girl. It's not okay for a guy to go out on a Friday night and a girl can't go out. There's that funny goodness gracious me video where the son asks for everything. He's like, Mom, Dad, would you put the mortgage into my name? And they're like, yeah. The girl goes in and asks for a hairdryer. Mom's like, go to your room. No, that doesn't exist. If a boy wants to go out on a Friday night, then the girl shouldn't ever be told that you can't go out because you're a girl. It should be the same rule applies. Same rule applies. If the girl can't go out, the guy shouldn't go out either. So these little things that happen in Punjabi households. So yeah, that was the video for Buddhist Gracious Me. If we teach our child calm, growth, anger, how to use that, and how we are here to overpower our anger, not let anger overtake us. Know that this is a spiritual battle that's within us. We are to fight it. And they won't need to go confide in somebody else. They've got their Guru to confide in, they've got their Sangha. The same with greed, that we're not here for materialistic possessions, that we are much deeper than this body. We're not a physical body, we are a soul. Connect with that. And then automatically, when they start searching deeper, this Guru's teaching is teaching us how to live within the world, how to overcome all these battles. I speak to a singer outside today. He said, Benji, goes, if you asked me about 2 years ago, he goes, if you told me 2 years I'd be here doing seva, he goes, I would have laughed. He goes, there was no way I would have thought I would have been here. Because we were the ones that would go down and set up, do the gigs. We'd be setting up, DJ systems, we'd be drinking, whatever. He goes, I never thought I would be here. He goes, all our life, we've been taught, we've never been taught about Sikhi. He goes, but if we were taught about how to be a Sikh, because we would know how to live within the world the right way. Parents sometimes say, we don't want to teach our kids about Japji Sahib. They've got too much maths and all this other homework to do. We don't want to burden them with the Guru Shabad. But the Guru Shabad isn't a burden. The Guru Shabad is the light to stay away from all these problems. The reason why we have these is because we've come away from the Guru Sahib. The more that we go towards Guru Sahib, all these things will hopefully start ironing out, because we know how to live. He gives us the Jivan Jat, he gives us the way to live. So both the problem, but the solution is within the problem. Say as well, one thing with Sikhi, I was speaking to a Guru Sikh a few weeks back, and he raised a very important, a very valid, very good point. And he said, Sikhi, when we try to compare Sikhi with Christianity, compare Sikhi with Islam, compare Sikhi with Buddhism, anything, this thing doesn't exist for us. Why? Because Sikhi isn't a religion, it is a pathway, it's a life, it's how we live. So how can we try to compare how we live with anything else? It's not a religion.